welcome to my tube. So in today's video we're going to be doing a story time, and it's going to be part of this new thing that I want to do on my channel. It's going to be called Mama's Tales, and it's basically just going to be like little story times or little chats or little things that I just want to come on here and talk about, but I don't necessarily want them to fall under just my Mama's Corner videos. I want them to be under a specific little segment, so there's that. So today's video, as you can tell from the title, is quite interesting, and it's gonna be difficult to get through it for me because every time I think about it I just die laughing. But let's get right on into the video. Okay, so I don't know if everyone has Gradbash, but I'm assuming they do. But just in case, Gradbash is basically a end of the year field trip that is made especially for seniors. At my school, every grade had their own trip, but ours was called Gradbash. And so the whole year, that's pretty much what everyone looks forward to. Gradbash, prom, and like homecoming, all the events, but Gradbash especially because that's the end of the year trip. Like, it's always so much fun, and it's always like something to look forward to. So I don't know if everyone goes there, but at my school we went to Universal Studios here in Orlando, in Miami, in Florida, here in Orlando, and we went to Universal, and I think we shared it with Islands. Like, I think we had access to both parks, if I'm remembering correctly. If you went to school with me and you remember if we did, comment down below, because I can't fully remember, but I'm pretty sure we did. And so anyway, at this time, oh gosh, I'm already like laughing too much. So at this time, my group of friends were 6 girls, and 3 of them are gonna remain nameless for this video just because we're not super close anymore, and I'm not sure if they're comfortable with me mentioning their name or not, so we're just gonna keep it like that. But I am gonna mention Michelle and Mimi, which are still 2 of my best friends. So if you guys are watching, shout out to y'all. And so pretty much the story consists of me and Mimi going through it the entire Gradbash. But I had to point out that we started off as 6 girls because that group of 6 eventually becomes a group of 12. I'm not sure how, but we'll get to it. Well, I'm going to try and explain how, from how I remember this. So I remember this day perfectly. Gradbash came. I had no idea what I was going to wear, so I threw on this very loose blue shirt and some shorts, some sneakers, some comfy sneakers. I wasn't trying to go all out because I was like, look, this is going to be a long day. We got to travel there. We got to walk the entire park, get on these rides. It's going to be a mission. So I didn't want to do nothing crazy. I barely put on makeup. All I did was my brows, and I think I just did my mascara, which was pretty much my look all of high school. Maybe some eyeliner, but pretty much just brows and mascara when I did put on makeup. And so we get to the school. We get there super early. It's like what, 6, 7, really early, because we have to be on the bus and get ready to go as soon as possible. So I remember getting there, and we got there super early, and we're taking pictures. Everyone, we're like, oh my god, we're so excited. We're trying to plan out a day, like the day, like which rides are we, like, do we have to get on no matter what. This did not go as planned, let me tell you. So before I even continue this, let's rewind a few days before when we were first talking about this, and we were talking about how we were basically asking each other, does anyone get, not seasick, but like motion sickness? And so me and Mimi were explaining that Mimi can get motion sickness, or like she can get sick off rides, but for me it's a little bit tricky because I don't always get sick, but I can possibly get sick off of rides. Keep this in mind. And so we're saying, okay, then maybe we should get Dramamine or like something for motion sickness. So my friend Michelle had suggested the little bracelets there are for motion sickness, because she had motion sick like on the ocean and stuff. And we, like, for me, I never thought about it because I've been on cruises and I've been on rides, and like I've only gotten sick maybe once or twice before. I can't fully remember, but I'm pretty sure it was only those 2 times. And other than that, it's very iffy for me to get sick. So I was just like, okay, yeah, I'll take one just in case because it doesn't matter. Fast forward back to the day of. So we're there taking pictures, whatever, and then they take us into this room, and our buildings were by number, so it was in building 5. If you went to my school, then you know what I'm talking about. They put us in this room that was right in front of the bathroom so that we could use the bathroom and then get on the bus as soon as possible because we were ready to go. At this point, I think it was like maybe 7:30, possibly 8. Very early morning, I think. So then they have us there, and my Mimi, I keep wanting to say my friend, Mimi shows me the Dramamine bottle that she has, and she's like, oh, I got travel size, it's really tiny. It was like, give or take maybe this big, possibly smaller. And I was like, perfect, we can take it when we get over there so that, you know, the effect kicks in. Didn't even think about it, we just let it be. We were like, alright, whatever, when we get over there, we'll take it. Perfect. So we end up getting on the bus, and we sit towards the back. And it was me, I'm pretty sure I either sat with Mimi or one of the other friends on the way to, but I remember I sat with my other friend on the way back. So I don't fully remember. I'm pretty sure I sat with Mimi on the way to Orlando. So whatever, the ride was great. It was so much fun. I didn't sleep. I don't remember sleeping on the ride anyway. At least not to Orlando. We were just talking, having fun, trying to find entertainment. You know, what you do on a road trip. And of course we did the 1 or 2 stops every now and then to use the bathroom and everything else. So we get to Gradbash. Finally, the moment we've awaited for, the whole 4 years of high school and the whole year of senior year. It's here. We've arrived to Universal Studios. You don't understand the excitement that we all had. We almost ran off of that bus. Almost. Had it not been for our teachers. And I remember getting there and getting off the bus and then walking to the front of Universal's. I'm not sure if every Universal's has this, but at least here in Orlando, and I'm pretty sure it's right before the little mall space that there is. It's kind of like a little plaza thing, I want to call it. It's this big thing, and it says Universal Studios, and I'm going to put the picture somewhere here, probably on this side, of the picture we took. And here we already had a huge group with us. I don't know how it happened. I think it was that we, the six girls, wanted to take this picture. And then everyone that was walking in were like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, let's take a group picture, let's take a group picture. So we ended up just doing that. But people from this picture remained part of our group. But they came after. So we get inside, and I remember going into the, like, they had a little space separated for all the seniors that came, because it wasn't just my school, it was a few schools going that day. And I remember going in, and there were like little club-like settings inside. Like, it was a little room that looked like a club, blasting music, very dark. You know, you've been in the club. Very dark, lights everywhere. And so we go in there, we're like, okay, party, whatever, you know, we're just having a good time. And there was like some food, but I wasn't really in the appetite to eat, because I tend to get nervous before getting on rides. And I was like, oh god, if I eat, I'm either gonna have to poop, or I'm gonna throw up. And that's not the plan for today. That was not the plan for that day. So I ended up not eating. I think I took like a bite of Mimi's burger or her hot dog, because that was really what they were giving. They weren't giving us obviously like a whole bunch of food, but they were giving burgers and hot dogs, or at least the station that we passed by. And so I take a bite of her thing, and I was like, that's it, I don't want any more. I'm not in the mood, I don't have an appetite, this is fine, this should be okay. Like, if I eat, I'm gonna eat after we get off our first ride, and it's probably gonna be something very small. So whatever, we're enjoying our time, and then they start announcing that they're gonna open the gates soon, that they're finishing clearing up Universal's, because basically the park was only open for us, the students. And so we're like, okay, game plan on. At this point, this is a moment that changed the whole event. So we hear that, and we're like, all right, we should start moving forward, like towards the gate, so that when they open it, we're like the first ones out, and we get to where we need to go before those lines get huge. We're like, all right, sounds like a plan. Let's do it. But before we moved, me and Mimi were like, wait, we should take our pill for the motion sickness so that it'll start kicking in, and then that way by the time we get out there, we'll be fine, like we won't be feeling it. And we're like, oh, I was like, oh my god, that's the best idea ever. But because the bottle was about this big, again, it didn't have instructions on it. And well, at least me, I never took Dramamine before, so I was like, I don't know how many I'm supposed to take. And she was like,
I don't remember either, but I think it's 2.
It was not 2. So we end up taking the 2 pills because we're like, all right, it's kind of like Advil. And Advil, I usually take 2, and she usually takes around 2 also. So I'm like, all right, so let's just take 2, and it'll kick in. If anything, it'll have like an extra effect, but it's not going to be nothing crazy. You already know where this is going. So we take the 2 pills and we walk forward. We are walking towards the group, and we're already decently far from this gate. Like, we're not where we expected to be, but we're pretty far. Not super far, but pretty far. And so when we're getting there, everyone's obviously crowding up because they have the same idea that we did. The faster we get to the front and the closer we are, the faster we get to these rides. Right. So it begins to crowd up. People are shoving each other. People are trying to get to the front because their friends are over there. It's getting ugly. It was hot. It was a lot of people. There were sweats. There were sweats. It was sweaty. It was just too much. Too much. So at some point, I began to feel weird. And at this moment, I knew I fucked up. But I tried to not think about it. I was like, no, it's nothing. So I start to feel weird, and I start to feel this weird sensation in my stomach. It was almost like an anxious feeling, but since I was nervous for the rides, I didn't think much of it. And then I feel like I can't catch my breath. I'm like I'm breathing like that, like trying to take these deep breaths, and my friends notice, and they're like, are you
Okay, what's going on?
And I'm like,
no, yeah, I'm fine. I'm feeling like I can't fully catch a breath.
And so they're like, are you claustrophobic? Because at this point we realize there's a shitload of people around us, and there's not much space for us either. And so I'm like, not that I know of, but I know my dad is. So like, I don't know if that's something that like I got from him, or like maybe I've never experienced enclosed spaces like this so bad. And so they're like, okay, calm down. And then they were like, just I don't know why this was the solution, but they were like, just look up and breathe like into the air, like. So they had me doing that. I looked like a dumbass, to say the least. I looked like a dumbass. And so I'm there doing this, trying to catch my breath. And I didn't think it could have been the pill, because in my mind I was like, oh, whatever, it probably hasn't kicked in, because this was maybe like 10 minutes after. That should have been my first red flag, but I didn't think of it. And so I'm like, okay. And I start to calm down a little, because at this point, I'm honestly starting to catch some air. Not as much as I should be, but I'm starting to catch some air. And so eventually, everything opens. The gates open, and everyone just starts flooding into Universal's. People were running. It was a whole chaos. I was like, I'm not getting trampled. I already can't breathe. We're not about to die out here. This was not the game plan. This is not happening. And so when we get there, at some point we stop running, because we're like, oh, whatever. These lines are going to be long. Everyone's like hauling ass to these to these rides. It's going to be a mess anyway. Well, we'll ride the rides that we get to, and if not, well, whatever. We can just come back another day. We're graduating. Half of us drove. It wasn't a big deal. And so we're walking, and we get inside, and we're fine. And the first ride we rode, if I remember correctly, was the Hulk. I have a vivid memory of riding the Hulk with my friends. At this point, it's still 6 of us. For now. It's still 6 of us. And we ride the Hulk. My other friends ride... we all got on that one. And then we moved to... it's not called Tower of Terror, but it's very similar. That same movement where like you go up and then you drop really quick. But I don't remember what it's called. It's right next to the Hulk. And then we just go on as the time goes. And we were trying to get all the water rides out first, because we were like, okay, it's still daytime. If we get on the water rides towards the night, we're going to be freezing. It wasn't super cold at this time, but because we were going to get on other rides, we're like, we'd rather dry in the heat than dry at night in the cold and then get sick, and then the whole issue. So we got on all the water rides first, or at least from what I can remember, most of the water rides first. And then when we got off Popeyes, I don't remember what the name was, but it was Popeyes. It's a little round. I'm I'm looking over here because I'm having a vision of it. Like, I see it in my head. When we get to Popeyes, it's a little round thing, and it goes... I'm going to insert the name because I remember watching this video too. I'm going to put the name somewhere here. But we ride this ride. And when we get to this ride, we meet up with some other friends, which I'm totally comfortable mentioning. So we met up with Tyree, we met up with Patrick, we met up with... Oh gosh, so many other people were in there. I think Dudley? There were a few of us, but from that ride forward, it was 12 of us. How you go from 6 to 12? That don't add up. So we already knew that this was going to be an issue because it was already hard for us to get on rides being 6 people. And now we were 12. How are we going to get on a ride with 12 people? There were barely seats for 6 of us. But we made it work. But just know that the group got huge. So after we rode Popeyes with like the big ass group that we were in, we were like, fun, yay, we're wet, right? And so we walk on over and we go into Harry Potter land. My favorite. And when we get there, we're like, okay, we gotta ride Dueling Dragons. I'm pretty sure they took this ride down or they changed the name. I don't fully remember, but I'm pretty sure that they changed it. But back then it was called Dueling Dragons. And so I was like,
oh my god, yes! I saw a video of this right before we came to Orlando. It looked like so much fun. We gotta ride it.
So, oh god. So we're getting ready to get on this ride, and we're going to put our stuff in the lockers, and we're like, okay, perfect. It's 6 of us. I mean, it's 12 of us. So if anything, 6 of us goes first, and then the other 6 go after, and the first 6 wait downstairs, right? I don't think this is how that went. But before we even got on there, after that whole 6 of us go first and then the 6 go after, me and Mimi had our own little conversation. I was telling her, oh my god, I was watching this video on YouTube of this ride, and the person was saying to hold your neck to hold your neck because the ride can be a little brutal. And so she was like, what do you mean hold your neck? And I was just like, hold it, like stiffen it so that your head isn't doing this all over the place, right? I don't know what possessed her, but that's not what she did. That's not what she did. So we get on the ride, or like we get, oh my god, my nose. But that's not what she did. So we get in line to go up to the ride, and we're waiting for the ride. We're like, okay, we're planning which 6 are gonna go with who, and then what 6 are gonna go on the next one in case it doesn't work out. That, you know, that whole plan we have. So all the 6 girls go together, and then the other 6 people that join go together. And so I sit next to Mimi, and they strap us in, they put on the thing, and I'm like, remember to hold your head. We have the thing here. I'm like, remember to hold your head. I'm yelling at her like this because this thing is so thick, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't see you. She's so tiny. I couldn't. And so she's like, okay. I don't know what possessed her to do this, and I know you're watching this, Mimi, so I'm still gonna question you. She goes, the thing, right? The protective thing. And she lays her head against it. And the whole ride, she's yelling. She's yelling, and her head is just like smacking the thing because she thought that's what I meant when I said hold your head, when in reality what I meant, but I didn't say correctly obviously, it was just lay back and put your head against the chair so that you're not like, you know, it's not so much movement and you're a little stiffer. So we got off the ride, and this girl's like, wow, my right here and my neck really hurts. I was like, I told you to hold your head. And she was like, I did. And I was like, well, how'd you do it? And she's showing me. I'm dying. Because I was like, that's not what I meant. I meant put your head back and stiffen it. And so this girl was like, well, why didn't you say that? And it just became this whole joke. And every time we talk about Gradbash, we talk about that one story. But back to the main story. I just had to include that. So when we get off Dueling Dragons, we were cracking up, we're waiting for everyone, we're downstairs, and there's like these seats right in front of it. I'm not sure if they're still there. I haven't been to Orlando in so long. There's these like little benches that were right in front of it, and it was like right next to the lockers, but like there was a little bit of space. Like the lockers were over here, and then the benches were like right around here. And so we sit because we're waiting for these other people, and at this point, we're starting to feel the effects a little stronger. I was clearly already feeling it before, but we're starting to feel the effects stronger. And so at this point, I don't lay down. I put my hands like this on my knees, and I'm holding my head like this. And people are like, oh, is she feeling bad? Because they know that Dueling Dragons is super intense and people can get off of that feeling sick. And I was like, no, I'm fine. I'm not sick. I'm just really tired. Like, super tired. And they were like, oh, no, wake up. What are you doing? It's Gradbash. And I was like, I know, I'm trying to. I can't shove the feeling. It's like 8 at night, mind you. It's not even late. It's like 7:30, maybe 8. I don't go to sleep early. That's not late time. That was really strange of me to feel that way. And so I'm there like this, and Mimi's standing next to me, and she's like, bro, are you feeling really tired? I'm like, yes. What is that? And she's like, I don't know. And so whatever, we walk away from that, and we're feeling all right. We're still tired. I'm here like falling asleep every chance I get. Like every line that we waited in, I would just lay up against my friends and try to knock out. I'd be like knock out, take a power nap, a cat nap standing, which obviously in my head now I'm like, that would have never worked out. What was I doing? And so I would always lay on like Terry. I'd be like, oh my god. Or like Patrick, I'd lay like this. Or like I'd switch off. And during this time, it was the time that song, wake up, we about to get this paper, was very popular. Don't remember the name. I'll probably insert it somewhere here too. It was around that time that song was super popular. So every time they would grab me and shake me. Not like super strong. Don't think my friends are abusive, but like they would do this to me, and they'd be like, wake up, and I was like, no. But very few times I'd actually sing back and be like, we're about to get this paper, because I'm always litty. I'm litty most of the time. And so especially Gradbash, I was like, I can't be like this, what's going on? And there was music playing, so very randomly I'd start dancing, and they'd be like, she ain't even tired, what's going on? And I'm like, no, I am, but you know, music speaks to me, so I gotta do it. And so the last ride, or at least the last ride I remember riding, was the Simpson Simulation. And at this point, we're starting to feel the effects fully. We're tired, she's upset. Not upset, she's angry. I'm starting to get angry because I'm so tired. I'm like, I need a bed, and I need it now. I was so tired. I think we were hungry. It was just a mix of everything. It was a super long day. We had been on our feet were hurting. It was a mix of everything, but we were high.
I have to come on here because I'm editing this video, and I don't think I'm explaining that well of how tired I was. It's not a normal tired from like, oh, you know, I've had a long day, I'm just super tired. No, this was an extreme tired. Kind of picture like you've gone out drinking and you were so drunk that you were messed up and you just will fall asleep anywhere. That was the kind of tired that we were at. It wasn't like a normal I'm tired, which is obvious that I would be because of it was such a long day. This was an intense amount of tiredness that hit both of us at once. Okay, back to the story.
We were high off that pill because we overdid it taking the 2. We should have taken 1, but we didn't know. But we'll get to that part of the story. And so we're on this ride, or we're waiting for this ride. I'm doing my thing. I'm there like laying down on my friends, trying to take a cat nap every chance I get. And at some point we get on the ride, and as soon as we get on, Mimi's like, this isn't gonna work out. I'm starting to feel sick. And I was like, oh no. Like the point of us taking that pill was to not feel sick. And so she's like, I don't know, I'm just super tired. And I was like, oh god, this is not gonna go good. And so we end up getting on because we're like, okay, whatever. We're in the line, we're in the little elevator thing or whatever it is, and we get in and we're like, okay, just take deep breaths and calm down. Needless to say, we get off this ride and she was not feeling okay at all. This girl was not feeling okay, so everyone's trying to feed her water, trying to get her something to eat, like, you want a snack, you want chips, like, because we all had like little snacks with us just in case we don't want to buy anything at Universal's. And so she's like, okay, yeah, so she drinks some water, she eats some small snacks, and we get going to the bus, because at this point it's around 11, 12, I'm not even sure what time we came back, but I'm pretty sure it was around that time. And so we run back to the bus, and we get on the bus, and at this point I'm upset as crap because I'm tired. I am tired, my feet hurt, I'm hungry, I was not having it. And if you know me, you know that if I'm tired, I can't. It's not, I'm angry. I'm a baby, I need my bed, I want to sleep. So we got on this bus, and at this point I'm sitting with my other friend of the 6 girls, and she sat, if I remember correctly, she sat on the inside of the window and I sat on the outside. But then we got there and she was like, no, I want to sit on the outside, and I was so pissed. I was like, okay, whatever, just sit there. And I sat on the inside, and I ended up laying against the window and she lays against me, and I was like, okay, yeah, fine. And I caressed her because I'm sweetie like that, and whatever. And so the lights are still on, we're not moving, and we're waiting for this one student. Or I think that's what was happening, because we ended up not leaving when we had planned. Like, the bus was pretty much full, but I'm pretty sure we were missing like one student, or they had to do roll call. Something was going on, and I was getting even more frustrated because I'm like, I'm trying to take a nap. I'm trying to go to sleep. The lights are on. People are talking. I'm like, shut up. How are you awake? How do you have this much energy at like 1 in the morning? This did not click with me that it was only 1 in the morning, that I should have been just fine, because I don't go to sleep early, as mentioned before. And we end up leaving. We get home, I get to my parents, I'm like, oh, I'm so tired, it was so much fun, whatever. I get to bed and I wake up to a text from Mimi. And she's like, bro. And I'm like, what happened? Because I'm like, I don't know, Lord knows what happened. And she's like, we didn't overdose. We got high. And I was like, what? What are you talking about? I'm like, are you high right now? What are you talking about? And she's like, we got high off the Dramamine. We took 2 pills and it should have been 1 because the dosage was really high. And I was like, boop. I was like, that's why we were so tired. That's why we were in such a mood and so hungry, so fed up with life. She was like, yes, it all makes sense now. And I'm like, yeah, it does. But we didn't know. And I was just like, wow, that's just so crazy. I didn't think it was possible. And she was like, yes, I spoke to my mom, and that her mom was saying that if you overdo the amount of medicine you take from a certain like medicine, obviously, then you can get high, obviously. But we didn't think of that. We were just like, oh, 2 is fine. But needless to say, Gradbash was still very fun. I enjoyed it thoroughly. And I still think about it all the time. That's some of the best memories. Oh, and we did last the 12 people all the way to the end. We did, shockingly. And we got on all the rides together and everything else. And we made it happen. We made it work. We made it happen. So Gradbash was definitely one for the books, but this is always something that me and my girls always talk about, and like my friends, because we're like, that was just so crazy. That day was so wild. Like, what are the odds of all of that happening? But it obviously made for great memories. So I hope you guys enjoyed this story. Please like, share, and subscribe, and see you guys next time. Bye.